Okay, I'm back. Monday, July 31st. Wrote this, 2023. Wrote this at about 12:23 a.m. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Time is always a factor, so let me get right into it. The name of this is called The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Waste. Some of you are too young to remember this commercial that I'm referring to from the 1970s specifically. Certainly you wouldn't remember it if you're not more than 40 years old. It ran for a while, well into my teenage years. There were different versions of it, and it was the Keep America Beautiful commercial with with what later turned out to be an Italian American dressed up as a Native American tribesman, but that's another story. It began with him canoeing through an urban landscape cluttered with litter. The more he paddled through the river, the more debris would float to the surface. Smoke billowed from factories while cars drove by, visibly polluting the air. He makes his way up the hillside on foot, and just as he stops alongside the road, a passerby dumps a big load of garbage on his fine Indian threads. He was obviously not amused, because it was at that very moment that he turns to look at the camera and sheds a single tear, as if to say, "You see the shit, right?" These motherfuckers. Do you get the picture? I'm saying, using this example to let you know how I've felt every day of my life for at least the past 40 years. In the year 1970, I was 2 years old. But like I said, the commercial ran into my teenage years. It must have had a profound impact on my psyche, not just on the subject of the environment. As far as I was concerned, the whole shit was unsustainable. Instinctively, I knew that I would never fit into this world. I would be a failure, an outcast, because I would never be able to do what other people would be willing to do to achieve what they call success. Instinctively, even then I knew that I would be facing hardship my entire life, because I have a rebellious spirit that cannot be tamed. So one day, if I lived long enough, along with billions of others, I will take this corrupt, hypocritical, vicious system down. Years later, I turned out to be absolutely correct about everything that I thought about the Matrix. Only it was actually way worse than I thought it was. I spent at least the last 30 years of my life having experiences that would prepare me for these times, and collecting data, sharpening my interpersonal skills, and sharing what I learned with others who were just seemingly disinterested. Everyone mostly said that I was crazy, that I had a mental problem. One uncle of mine even tried to have me committed to a psychiatric ward with the support of other family members of mine. Thank goodness the judge felt differently and ruled in my favor. I used to think that the reason that people were disinterested in the things that I was saying was because they simply did not know what I know. I thought that maybe something is wrong with the way I'm communicating things. I went to college for the knowledge and not to matriculate into this system in any shape, form, or fashion. I studied mostly liberal arts subjects because they interested me. A lot of psychology, a lot of philosophy, English, and political science. Those were my main courses. I didn't give a damn about anything else. I didn't even care about eventually graduating. I just wanted to get as much knowledge as I could while I could. I wanted to know what academia thought, you know, what their perspective was. As far as I was concerned, I wasn't even supposed to make it that far. I'd already beaten all of the odds. Nobody cared about me. I registered myself into public school since I was 12 years old. I attended 5 elementary schools, 2 junior high schools, and 6 high schools, and graduated from my last high school as an orphan in a group home with a full scholarship from an Ivy League school based on financial need and academic achievement. I attended college while serving in the military. Eventually, I got kicked out of college for behavioral reasons, and I hated the military, and I found a way to get out while they were downsizing. Immediately after that, luck would have it that Desert Storm and Desert Shield showed up. I didn't have to go, thank goodness. Damn, I got carried away. This wasn't supposed to be about me. Sorry, I'll tell you more about these things in my next production because I know it was getting interesting, wasn't it? But remember, I only have 10 minutes to get to the point, and a lot of those minutes are now gone. You know, so let me see if I can get this next page here. Okay. The point is that America has and her territories, you are under mind control. You have been lied to for too long. I mean, you have lived too good for too long. You've been lied to for too long too, but you've lived too good for too long. A life of decadence and comfort. You don't see it, you can't see it, but the people of our country are delusional. We think that we are many things that we are not. Many of you are holding on to the American dream so tightly, and you refuse to let it go. I've been raised up from among you to help you wake up, to tell you to wake up. It's just a dream. It's not real. If you don't wake up now, you're gonna die in a dream. And just like in the Matrix movie, if you die in the simulator, you die in real life. Let me give you some examples before I close. The keepers of the Matrix have been working towards full spectrum domination for quite a while. This means controlling everything while giving you the thumbs up. It's okay. We got this. Go back to sleep. Enjoy your rest. In recent times, while you were asleep, they were 1. Poisoning the food and the water supply. 2. Ruining the economy. The dollar is no longer the world's reserve currency. 3. They decided that in the next few years, you will own nothing and you will be happy. The United Nations had a meeting to decide whether food was a human right or not, and every single other nation voted yes. Guess who voted no? The U.S. Go figure. The public schools are now mandating that the subject of slavery is taught as having been a benefit to the slaves. Oh, really? Then we have gender confusion issues. Don't get me started there. The Supreme Court, that's right, our Supreme Court has ruled that people that have taken the mRNA medicine are no longer people, but are now a species called, get this, Homo borgensis. And further, they are the chattel property of the mRNA patent holders. I could go on and on with this. The question is, how much endurance do the people of this country have for this? They've given away billions of dollars, billions of our dollars, billions of dollars in weapons. They've drained our gas supply. Meanwhile, the big guy gets $5 million. Come on, aren't you all tired of this? Wake up, join me. You don't have to physically join me. Follow my work and share it. I could help you put things into perspective. I'm not asking anything of you, just an air. Thank you very much for listening. And before I go, I'd like to leave you with the following words. As always, right on to the real and death to the fakers. Justify your existence or die like a punk. And also, may we all get exactly what the fuck we deserve. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. 1. Love you all, even if I don't like you. Stay up, cover your 6. 1.